How are we?
How are you doing?
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. How are you guys? Good?
Good.
Sweet.
It's going to be tough anytime a defensive line beats you to your number in an NFL camp. Are you adjusting to go into small numbers like you have to in the NFL?
You know, it's one of those deals where you kind of show up and it's going to be just fine. There's no worries. No worries there.
You're known as a punter, but you obviously handle kickoffs too for Georgia. What is your affinity at doing that? Do you love that just as much as punting, or is that just kind of a part of the job responsibilities and you'll do it and you want to be known as a punter, or do you just want to be known as a specialist who can do all those things?
Yeah, and I mean, no, I definitely love doing it. I don't necessarily know if I want to be known as either or necessarily. I just want to be able to come in and do whatever a team needs me to do, and be here to be the guy that helps, and whatever you need, I can be that guy.
How's it been working with some of the coaches on special teams, including Keith Armstrong?
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been a really cool experience. Getting to come in and meet this new coaching staff and get to be under them. We've had a day of practice so far, and it's been really cool. Been really neat.
What have been your impressions of Todd Bowles?
Really cool. Really good coach. I like the way that everything's set up here at practice and the way that the locker room handles everything so far. I haven't been around here a long time, but from what I can see and can hear, I've heard nothing but great things and seen nothing but great things.
You said you've only been here for a day or two, but coming from a big-time SEC national championship program in Georgia to the NFL, does that help the transition, that it's not going to be too high of a mountain for you to climb in terms of going from a really upper echelon college program to the NFL?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think that coming from Georgia is certainly going to help the transition. I think that the way that we ran things at Georgia were really tough, and it was meant to be like that to prepare you for this next stage in your life. So I think that the transition is going to be really smooth.
Keith Armstrong always says he likes to draft guys that have a little stuff to them, a little background. You play baseball, you've done other football things. So how much of your experience is just an overall athlete help you in this job?
I think it helps me tremendously. I think that you always have a little bit of an advantage if you are an athlete. A lot of things for people that are athletes come a little bit easier to them, a little bit more natural to them. So I definitely think that's an advantage, something that I'm really happy to have that part of my background. So.
Have they added what they ask you to do, whether it's directional fight, anything that is different from what you've already done, or what are some of the aspects that you've seen here that you're learning?
Yeah, no, nothing too crazy, nothing too much different. It's still early, so we're still all getting to know each other and make sure they're all on the same page with everything, and it's kind of like starting from the ground up. You're getting a base right now, and then we're kind of just moving forward from there.
Scott kind of mentioned this already. When you play for a national title, you're playing on the biggest stage, right? Like, you're in some of the most pressure-filled moments. How does that prepare you when you're, you know what it's like to play in games that really, really, really matter? So what's that like when you're coming to the next level? And there's a good chance you're going to be playing in some really meaningful games again at this level.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that having played in every biggest game that you can possibly imagine in college, that certainly helps. But the way that I look at it, honestly, is every game's a big game. There's not any game that doesn't matter. Whether you're playing a team that's at the bottom of the league or you're playing a team that's at the top of the league, I mean, the object and the goal is to go out and beat that team. It doesn't matter what they look like, what color their jersey is, or anything. So I think that, in terms of the biggest stage, I think it's definitely helped me, playing at Georgia. Just having been there before and kind of been able to say that I've, walked the walk, a couple of times in that regard. So I think it's definitely something that's helped.
I guess playing on that stage, you realize that you got to treat them all the same.
Absolutely.
Like you just said, you play on that biggest stage and you realize that it's not any different than playing in these any other games.
No. I mean, the goal is to beat the other team, and that's the most important thing. A lot of people can make it up to be really big or really small, but at the end of the day, you just got to beat the other team. That's the most important object.
We ask this all the time of like offensive linemen or pass rusher. Are there punters in the league that you watch that you'd like to look at that you admire most of the guys you'll be now colleagues with in the NFL?
Yeah, I watch a lot of guys in the NFL. I think I've probably watched every single punter in the NFL. So I've got some friends out there, and guys that I'm able to bounce ideas off of here and there. So I can say that I've watched a good bit. So.
Coach Armstrong was commenting on you running the 40-yard dash and turning in a really good time. That athleticism, in his press conference with us the other day, he kind of like winked and nodded that maybe there might be some opportunities for fake punts, that you can throw the ball. He noted that as well. Has that speed ever helped you out either on a fake punt in high school or college, or when you have a bad snap that you got to grab the ball and run rather than punt?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had one running fake in my career at Georgia. It was a fake field goal against Baylor, and we got a first down on that. I got shoestring tackled, and I don't think anybody will ever let me live that down. So we've gotten on the bags a couple times, made sure to get the knees up, but I think it's definitely something that should hopefully be able to help sometime in the future.
Something to have in your back pocket.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else? Cool.
Thanks
Thanks
so
a
much.
lot.
Appreciate you guys.